I'm going to show you the floor chest press. This is one of my favorite chest building exercises because it changes the dynamics of your normal bench press. Instead of a bench, you're going to lay flat on the floor. At the bottom of every rep, as the muscle fibers are lengthening and stretching, when you bring the weight down, you're going to take a complete rest at the bottom, resting your elbows on the floor. Let the tension drain out of the muscles. So the new challenge here is you're trying to use this muscle group and take it from a zero tension place, where there's no tension, it's relaxed, you're resting on the ground, to immediately turning them on and firing them up, creating force and driving those weights up. That going from zero to maximum tension to press the weights up is a new way of working these muscles. Normally with a regular bench press, the tension slowly builds over time as you're lowering the weight. And by the time you get down here and you're ready to press back up, your muscles are already fired up. It's not going from 0 to 100. It's slowly going to 100 and getting used to the tension, and then you're pressing. It's important to use the right tempo in this exercise to get the benefit of what this exercise is all about. The tempo I like to use is 1-2-1, which means 1 second press up. So I'm pressing up pretty explosively, really as quickly as I can, depending on how much weight I'm using. 1 second up, a 2 second count down, and a 1 second pause or rest on the ground. When I rest my elbows down on the ground and I'm just balancing the weights above my elbows, the time that you remain down there could be longer if you find it difficult to deactivate your chest muscles. If 1 second isn't enough and there's still a lot of tension here, then rest for a little bit longer before you press that next rep up. The goal is to be able to turn these muscles off, deactivate them, so they go to 0, complete rest, and from 0, boom, exploding back up off the ground. So first, you're going to want to get in position on the ground. Knees bent, back flat on the ground, feet apart. To get the weights up, if they're too heavy for you to just do like a bicep curl and press, what you can do is you can hook the top of the dumbbells on your hips, do a glute bridge, and hump them up, as I like to say. So now I've got my weights here, elbows resting on the ground, I'm relaxed. And we're going to go from 0 tension in the muscles, nice and relaxed, to a quick, explosive rep. Slow on the way down. 1 second pause to relax the muscles again, and press. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. So the tempo is 1-2-1, but I'm just counting through. It gets confusing if you try to measure your tempo like 1, 1, 2, 1. You know, it's kind of weird. So just count up. Just know what your seconds are and what you should be doing at each point. 1, 2, 3, rest. Now, of course, you could adjust this. Just generally, the idea is you want a short amount of time up, no pausing at the top. I'm using twice as much time on the way down, but you could definitely do a 1-3-1 count or even a 1-4-1 count, such as, let's do a 1-3-1. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. And like I said before, if you actually are unable to relax your muscles within 1 second, add more time. So if you go 1, 2, 3, rest, and you still feel like you're pressing against this weight, then just take your time, learn the technique first, chill out, do 1 rep at a time, nice and slow, wait a little bit, make sure your chest is relaxed again, and then boom, relax it, boom. There you go. Now I'm gonna show you the single arm floor chest press. So the floor press using only one dumbbell in one hand. I like this exercise because it creates an imbalance that your body has to manage. You'll struggle with this imbalance. The goal here becomes less about pushing up the weight and just getting the best chest pump that you can. The goal of doing this single arm press is to integrate your muscle groups so they're not working alone, all right? So when I have this imbalance and I'm pressing the weight up with only one hand, my core is going to activate and my hips are going to struggle to stay on the ground. And I actually feel, let's say if I'm pressing the weight up with my right hand, I actually feel my left foot losing pressure on the ground as if it's wanting to come up off the ground. And I know what's happening. Let me show you. When my right hand is pressing up, there's a weight here that's trying to pull me this way. So my left foot, I can sense that happening. When my left foot starts losing pressure with the ground, I know that my body's trying to tilt. So you have to fight that through your core and locking your body down on the ground. So you're pressing up and everything here is tightening and pulling to rotate away from the weight that's trying to drag my body over here to my right. Here we go. So just like before, to get the weight up, if it's too heavy to just curl, then you can always hump it up, like that. Okay. My other hand, I'm just putting down by my side, flat on the ground. Feet are flat on the ground. Okay, and as soon as I start to press, I feel my right foot pressing into the ground because it's trying to stop my body from rolling to my right, and I feel like I'm losing pressure in my left foot. You want to be mindful of this and then try to balance it. So if I'm losing pressure in my left foot, I want to keep my left foot on the ground and kind of push down into it a bit as well. That'll drive the tension back up from my leg here. I'm intentionally trying to focus as much of the work right here in my core. So shoulders flat on the ground, hips flat on the ground, and press. Another thing that I like is, even if you can't keep the pressure balanced in both feet, you'll feel your right glute activate because it needs to push down into the floor to prevent you from twisting. This particular kinetic chain or circuit, whatever you want to call it, I really like because it hits a lot of the points in the body that need the most tuning in, right? The glutes, the core, the anti-rotation core muscles, and obliques. And you can get a chest pump at the same time. And anytime you train chest, single arm instead of both, you get a different type of benefit from that. So your chest will grow as well. It's one of my favorite exercises, guys. It does a lot. Here, I'll switch arms. Okay, so when I switched, it immediately was a lot more difficult for me to stay balanced on the ground because I'm used to fighting the weight on my right side. Unlike the regular floor press, my tempo will be different. I'm not really focusing on the timing. I'm focusing more on being able to control my body and the stability. In fact, it might be more beneficial to press slowly off the ground, slowly create a little bit of force at a time, because then you are going to struggle more here in the core. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. Try that one out. Let me know what you think. And remember to breathe with every rep. Don't hold your breath. And if you do the single arm, focus here. It's not so much about the pushing, it's about the stability and the balance. All right.